Police Officer Kyle Henderson was conducting routine highway patrol on the Texas I-35 corridor during his night shift. When multiple emergency calls came in about floating figures above the highway, he initially thought they were drunk driving reports. That was until he witnessed levitating beings with his own eyes, systematically moving on the highway and approaching vehicles. Welcome to Shelley's Mystery Files. Today I'm going to share with you a story about an incredible encounter that a police officer in Texas had with floating beings on a highway. Kyle, could you first introduce yourself and tell us about your police work background in Texas?
Hello, Shelley. I'm Kyle Henderson, 38 years old, and I've been serving with the Texas State Police for 12 years. I specialize in highway patrol, DUI enforcement, traffic safety, and emergency response coordination. I regularly patrol the I-35 corridor, which is familiar territory as a high-traffic interstate highway.
What were the specifics of your night shift on June 23, 2021, and what was your normal patrol duties coverage?
Standard 10-hour night shift, 2200 to 800, patrolling I-35 highway between Austin and San Antonio sections. Traffic enforcement, DUI checkpoints, accident response, and assistance to stranded motorists. It was a normal summer night with moderate traffic volume.
What were the I-35 corridor characteristics and typical patrol environment conditions?
It's a major interstate highway with heavy commercial truck traffic connecting major Texas cities, rural sections, isolated stretches, minimal lighting between urban areas. High-speed highway with an 80 miles per hour speed limit, creating a challenging enforcement environment.
When did the first unusual emergency calls start coming in, and what was the initial content?
At approximately 1:30, dispatch reported multiple 911 calls from different motorists about people floating above highway near mile marker 195. Initially, I thought they were drunk driving reports, hallucinations, or prank calls.
What was the consistency of multiple callers, and how did the report details compare?
Surprisingly consistent descriptions from independent callers. Humanoid figures floating approximately 50 feet above the highway, moving in coordinated patterns. No collusion was possible between different vehicles at different times.
What was the dispatch response protocol for unusual reports, and what was the assignment approach?
Standard procedure is to investigate all reported highway hazards. I was dispatched to the area for visual confirmation and traffic safety assessment. I expected to find nothing unusual, just routine follow-up investigation.
What were your initial observations during area approach, and how did you assess normal conditions?
I drove to the reported location with normal highway traffic, clear night visibility, and no obvious hazards. Initially, I saw nothing unusual and prepared to report negative findings, clearing the area for normal operations.
When did the first floating figures detection occur, and what was the recognition moment?
At approximately 2:15, I noticed unusual movement patterns overhead. Initially, I thought they were aircraft or helicopters, but I realized the objects were too low for normal aviation, with no navigation lights and no engine sound.
What were the visual confirmation details and object characteristics?
Clearly humanoid figures, approximately 6 to 7 feet tall, floating motionless 40 to 50 feet above the highway surface. Dark silhouettes against the night sky with no visible means of propulsion and completely silent operation.
Did you observe number count and formation patterns?
I counted approximately 8 to 10 figures spread across a quarter-mile highway section, maintaining consistent altitude and positioned above both northbound and southbound lanes. Systematic positioning, not random distribution.
Did you make a traffic impact assessment and observe motorist behavior?
Vehicles were slowing down, some pulling over and a few making U-turns at the next exit. Clear indication that other drivers were witnessing the same phenomena. Traffic flow was significantly disrupted.
Did you attempt communication with the figures and follow response protocols?
I activated patrol car emergency lights and used the PA system to announce police presence. No response from the figures. They continued hovering motionless. No acknowledged interaction.
Did you consider requesting backup and follow departmental protocol?
I radioed dispatch for supervisor response and additional units, but avoided detailed description to prevent ridicule. I requested backup for traffic hazard investigation.
What was the backup arrival timeline, and what were colleague reactions?
The sergeant arrived approximately 45 minutes later, and the figures were still visible. Initial skepticism turned to shock when he witnessed the phenomena directly. Multiple officers were confirming the same observations.
What were the departmental documentation procedures and official reporting requirements?
Standard incident reports were required, but I struggled with appropriate terminology. I used unidentified aerial phenomena affecting traffic flow to maintain professional credibility.
Did you observe figure behavior changes during extended observation?
After approximately 2 hours of presence, the figures began slow movement patterns, maintaining formation while drifting eastward across the highway. Coordinated group movement, not individual action.
How did you witness the departure sequence, and what were your final observations?
The figures gradually ascended to higher altitude, maintained formation, and disappeared into the night sky. No acceleration, just steady vertical climb until they were no longer visible.
How did post-departure traffic normalization occur, and what was motorist behavior?
Traffic flow returned to normal immediately after the figures departed. I stopped several vehicles, interviewed witnesses, and collected contact information for potential follow-up investigation.
What were the witness interview results, and what was the testimony consistency?
Remarkable consistency across multiple independent witnesses. Floating humanoid figures, silent operation, coordinated movement, no contradictory accounts, high credibility factor.
Did you consider media attention, and what was your public disclosure strategy?
The department advised against media contact due to professional reputation concerns and potential ridicule factor. I maintained a low profile and focused on official documentation.
Did you research similar incidents in the I-35 corridor and look for historical patterns?
I researched department files and found occasional similar reports over the years, most dismissed or underreported. The pattern suggested recurring activity along the highway corridor.
Was there federal agency interest and higher authority involvement?
No federal contact immediately, but the department received informal inquiries from unspecified agencies, possible higher-level monitoring of highway phenomena.
What was your personal impact assessment after the encounter, and what psychological effects did you experience?
Significant impact on my worldview and reality perception. Professional training emphasized factual reporting, but I struggled with categorizing the extraordinary experience within a law enforcement framework.
Did you have career implications, concerns, and worry about professional standing?
Major concern about credibility, promotion prospects, and peer respect throughout the department. Law enforcement culture values a practical, factual approach above all else. Unusual claims are professionally extremely risky and could affect assignments and career advancement opportunities. I worried about being labeled an unreliable witness and questioned about my judgment capabilities. Police work depends on credibility, public trust, and courtroom testimony. Extraordinary claims without concrete evidence could undermine my entire professional reputation. I considered keeping the incident private to protect my career trajectory.
Did you attempt family disclosure, and what was the personal relationship impact?
Gradual disclosure to my wife first, then immediate family members over several weeks. Initially supportive but deeply concerned about career implications and financial security. My wife advised extreme caution about public discussion, worried about department backlash and community reputation. Family understood the professional risks and encouraged private documentation, but public silence. Personal relationships were strengthened through honesty, but it created ongoing stress about potential career damage.
Did you assess training adequacy for unusual phenomena?
The police academy never covered extraterrestrial encounters, floating beings, or unexplained aerial phenomena whatsoever. No protocols, procedures, or guidance were available for such extraordinary situations. Training focused on conventional crimes, traffic enforcement, emergency response, and standard law enforcement scenarios. I was completely unprepared for phenomena beyond normal human experience. Department manuals and standard operating procedures contained no reference to unusual aerial activity or unidentified entities. This highlighted a significant gap in law enforcement preparation for extraordinary circumstances.
Did you evaluate equipment functionality during the encounter?
All patrol car equipment functioned completely normally throughout the entire encounter. Radio communications were clear, emergency lights were operational, radar system was accurate, and computer systems were stable. No electromagnetic interference was detected during the figure presence, unlike some UFO reports. Cell phone, body camera, and dashboard camera all functioned properly. GPS navigation remained accurate, and vehicle electronics were unaffected. It was remarkable that advanced phenomena caused no technological disruption. I expected equipment malfunctions based on other accounts, but everything operated normally.
Did you apply traffic safety protocols and take public protection measures?
I established comprehensive traffic control measures, positioned my patrol car with emergency lights to warn approaching vehicles, and used the PA system to advise motorists of potential hazard ahead. I maintained a secure scene perimeter and coordinated with dispatch for traffic diversion if necessary. My primary concern remained public welfare regardless of the phenomenon's nature. I applied standard highway safety protocols and treated the situation as a legitimate traffic hazard requiring professional law enforcement response. I protected civilians while maintaining scene integrity for investigation.
Did you attempt follow-up investigation and additional evidence collection?
I returned to the exact location multiple times over the following weeks, on different nights and in various weather conditions, but no repeat phenomena were observed. I collected detailed witness statements from all available motorists, documented a precise timeline of events, and maintained a comprehensive evidence file with photographs, GPS coordinates, and weather data. I interviewed additional travelers who may have witnessed the incident and contacted local aviation authorities for aircraft activity reports. It was a systematic investigative approach despite the unusual nature of the case.
What was the colleague support level within the department, and what was peer acceptance like?
Mixed reactions throughout the department. Some colleagues were openly supportive. Others were clearly skeptical about the claims. Several officers privately shared similar unusual experiences from their own patrols, but were reluctant to discuss them officially. Department culture strongly discouraged unusual claims discussion and preferred conventional explanations. Few supervisors were understanding, and most were concerned about public relations implications. An informal support network developed among officers with extraordinary experiences, but official department policy remained dismissive of unusual phenomena reports.
Did you attempt scientific explanation and rational analysis?
I extensively researched possible conventional explanations: weather phenomena, atmospheric conditions, aircraft formations, balloon releases, optical illusions, and mass hallucination theories. I consulted meteorology reports, aviation flight paths, and military exercise schedules. Nothing matched the observed characteristics of coordinated humanoid figures floating motionless above the highway. No conventional explanation adequately addressed multiple independent witness testimonies, the duration of the encounter, or the systematic positioning. I exhausted rational analysis options without a satisfactory conventional conclusion.
Did you consider public safety implications and conduct ongoing threat assessment?
A thorough assessment revealed no apparent immediate danger to public safety. The figures maintained consistent distance from vehicles, displayed no aggressive behavior toward motorists, and caused no physical harm. However, significant concern remained about unknown capabilities, potential intentions, and future activities. I'm monitoring the situation for escalation and have prepared emergency response protocols if behavior changes. Ongoing threat assessment included potential psychological impact on drivers, traffic disruption concerns, and the need for public awareness without causing panic.
Did you consider technology advancement for detection capabilities?
I suggested the department upgrade surveillance equipment, night vision capabilities, and better documentation tools for unusual phenomena investigation.
Did you assess community impact and local awareness?
Local residents occasionally mentioned strange sightings, but most were reluctant to discuss them openly. Rural Texas culture values practical reputation, so unusual claims are challenging.
Did you develop interagency communication protocols?
I developed an informal communication network with other highway patrol officers, sharing unusual incident information. No official protocols were established.
Are there vigilance changes in your current patrol activities, and do you have enhanced awareness?
Increased attention to aerial activity during night patrols, better documentation preparation, and enhanced observation skills for unusual phenomena.
Do you have future encounter expectations and preparedness planning?
I expect possible repeat activity and am better prepared for documentation, witness coordination, and evidence collection. Enhanced professional approach to extraordinary situations.
Do you have law enforcement reform suggestions for unusual phenomena?
I recommend official protocols for unexplained phenomena, better training for officers, and removal of stigma around extraordinary incident reporting.
What was the professional development impact after the encounter, and what career advancement occurred?
Enhanced observation skills, improved crisis management, and better public interaction capabilities. Professional growth despite challenging circumstances.
Did your community service perspective change, and what's your public protection philosophy?
Broader understanding of public protection responsibilities and enhanced awareness of unknown phenomena affecting highway safety.
Do you have academic interest in phenomena research and scientific collaboration?
Interest in collaborating with researchers, studying highway phenomena, and providing law enforcement perspective to scientific investigation.
Finally, what is your advice to law enforcement officers who experience similar highway encounters?
Document everything professionally, maintain public safety focus, and don't let unusual phenomena compromise duty performance. Truth emerges through professional reporting.
Kyle, thank you for sharing this incredible highway floating beings encounter with us. The law enforcement perspective is very valuable.
Thank you, Shelley. I hope my account encourages professional reporting of unusual phenomena. Public safety requires honest documentation regardless of circumstances.
Officer Kyle Henderson's experience on Texas I-35 highway shows that levitating humanoid beings systematically monitor major transportation corridors and possibly interact with law enforcement personnel. The detailed observations from a professional with 12 years of police experience reveal the connection between this phenomena and highway safety and law enforcement protocols. If you've experienced similar unusual encounters during highway travel, please share with us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Shelley's Mystery Files channel, and see you in our next law enforcement mystery.